COVID-19 and what the world is coming to as a result of it is a scary thought to me. I never thought in a million years that we would, as a globe, be faced with something as horrifying as this. People bound to their homes, essentially, outside of needing to go to the store for the essentials, pharmaceutical, medication, and food, gas, and alcohol. And I say that kind of with a crooked smile because I guess, the alcohol rate has spiked because of the virus. 22 million people are unemployed in the past 5 weeks since this began. And, people are waiting for this $1,200 stimulus check. Some people have gotten it. Some people haven't. It's scary business, My thought was the other day, I'd said, if we hadn't closed things down, the restaurants and the public places, this virus could very well wipe out the entire human race if we had not taken the measures that were taken. This crossed from species to humans, and, it's been diagnosed in other species. It's a frightening thing. I'm not a very religious person. I do believe in God. I do believe in life after death. Sure I do. I believe in something. I have a level of hope that there's more to life than just going through the ups and downs of life, and, that there's a reward at the end. Maybe there's not. Either way, there's nothing we'll be able to do about that, when that time comes. But in the meantime, it's, how we live our lives. And how are we living our lives, Most days for me, I am now one of the 22 million unemployed just because of the coronavirus. And that just happened on Tuesday, in fact. So, and, you hear about all this, oh, well, if you become unemployed, and it's related to the pandemic, they're going to give you a $600 a week bump to your unemployment. Well, you got to apply to the right site for that. If you go through your state and just apply for regular unemployment, that's not going to be the case. There's a federal site that you got to apply to get that. So they have not, the government has not yet hammered all the bugs out of this for people to get what they're entitled to, that they're claiming that we're entitled to, resulting from this virus. So, but what my day looks like now, I've had to self-quarantine because a household member of mine was potentially exposed to the virus. That person did not come down with the virus, but because that person was within close proximity, I couldn't in clear conscience go to my job a couple of weeks ago and potentially risk my colleagues. So my company was ever so kind to pay me for the self-quarantine. But then when I returned to work, just 2 days later, we're told, we are all on furlough without pay to apply for the pandemic, unemployment, and, we'll see you back in hopefully a month. So, what my days look like now is I'm going to go back to writing. I'm going to edit some of my writings that I currently have published. I'm going to remove some things, and I'm going to put some new things on. I have many writings that I've done that since I've been in school that I'm going to put together and make projects out of and publish. But that's not my day. Those are my thoughts and those are my intents, my plans, for the next couple of weeks anyway. Because I'm finished with my coursework until summer. And courses begin. So my day is basically cleaning, disinfecting, touch points, doorknobs, light switches, water faucets, things that are commonly touched. I've done a lot of cleaning my house. Jesus Christ, my house is going to be spotless by the time I go back to work. Although my house was never dirty, but it's just taking the time and doing the things that I needed to do but have not had the time to do outside of the cleaning touch points. Who don't really think that you have to disinfect touch points every single time. But I take the coronavirus very seriously. A lot of people have died. And I don't want to be in that number. I don't want any of my family or friends to be in that number, in those statistics. I don't. They're telling people to wear masks. If you can't find a mask, wear a freaking bandana and wear some gloves. Whether they're, the disposable gloves from a hair kit, something just to protect yourself, if you got to go out, If you got to go out, because you don't know. Not everybody is respectful of the social distancing. And that's disturbing because, we hear on the news, we've heard about people dying at various ages. People who are healthy, completely healthy, to people, advanced in age with complications. And yes, many of the people that have died from this have been elderly, unfortunately, But there are also people in, children. And then people in their 20s, 30s, you just don't know. You just don't know. All you can do is take the proper safety precautions and hope to God. Because it is a pandemic. You do not know if somebody is a courier and has yet to show symptoms. If you're asymptomatic and show no symptoms, it's to get tested doesn't make sense. Because I was at that point, I want to get tested just to rule out and see where I stand. Well, there's not even enough testing to go around. They're trying to test people that are showing symptoms and triage in accordance to the severity of those symptoms. So, this is not going away anytime soon, I don't believe. I believe many more people are going to die. I think the government underestimated this. I'm not knocking any of the politicians, political officials, none of that. It's just my belief, because the lack of testing tells me the numbers would naturally be low. If there's not enough testing to test everybody who's showing symptoms, or they're doing only a certain amount of tests per day, how could they have an accurate account of where this virus is at in terms of who's been infected and who hasn't? So I don't believe that this is something that's going to be gone in another month. I don't believe it. I wish. I'd love to be able to go for a swim, go to the gym and go for a swim, to, you know, go out and have a nice dinner, or go out and go bowling, or, I don't know, whatever it is that my heart desires, I wish I could do. Jump in my car, go visit some friends, family, whatever. But it's not like that right now. And for the people out there that have, that are mean and bitter during this COVID-19 pandemic, out at the stores, being rude and stuff, I'd say, get a life. We're all in this together. And I say this because I had that experience a couple of times in the store where people were mean and saying things, and I had to turn around and say F you to somebody because, the person was disrespectful twice to me when I wasn't doing anything at all but minding my own business, trying to get what I need. And I'm sorry that I did that, but at the time, it was what it was. But you got to keep in mind that we are all in this together. No matter how alone you may feel, going through it at home, if you live alone, we're all in this together. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Remember, we are all in this together. And yes, we will get through it. But how many people will we lose before this comes to an end is the question that I have.